Is Arrival stock worth buying, and what will it be worth in the coming months? There is a new and exciting electric vehicle company that has been catching the eyes of the investors. The company is UK-based Arrival, and just last week they announced a merger which will value them at $5.4 billion. But now, since the announcement, the stock is up by a whopping 70%, and the current market valuation is therefore way higher than that. Still, these guys expect to reach $14 billion in sales by 2024, and if they can get anywhere close to that number, the current share price would be an absolute bargain in my opinion. In today's video, I will give you some insight into the company and their operations. I will also give you my opinion on whether it is a buy or not, and also what I think the share price could be in the future. So stay tuned. If you're new here, my name is Sam and welcome to the channel. If you find this valuable, I would appreciate it a lot if you press that like button. It just helps out my channel so much. Also subscribe if you want to see updates on various EV stocks and my analysis on them. We are a fast growing community and I would love to have you on the journey. I've mostly done videos on NIO recently, but I believe that there is so much more potential for great returns in the electric vehicle market than just NIO. In fact, I own many different electric vehicle stocks, and Arrival might just have become a recent addition. So Arrival is obviously in the EV market, but it is focusing on commercial vehicles like city buses and delivery vans, and in some ways reminds me of Workhorse, which I also own by the way. Now, these guys have already put huge expectations on themselves. As I said earlier, the management expects to reach $14 billion in annual sales by 2024 and sell some 250,000 vans and buses that year. Obviously a massive number and a bold goal, and if you have read up on the electric vehicle market at all, you are probably emotionally scarred by the horrible disaster that have been the story of Nikola, with way too many promises without any results. So why will Arrival not follow the same path as Nikola and actually manage to reach these projected sales? Well, there are a couple of key differences compared to the other public EV companies. First of all, according to Arrival president Avinash Rugoobur, there are already 1,200 employees, with 90% of them being engineers, with an even split between the software engineers and more traditional automotive and manufacturing engineers. Compare this to Nikola, who had like 350 employees during the peak of their hype. This is a big deal to me because employees need to be paid in time, and the amount of employees a company has is a reflection of their confidence in their ability to actually do that. It is very easy to hype up something and talk about all the crazy plans you have for a company if there are like 4 people in the company, since nothing really happens if you fail to live up to the hype. It's not the same if you have 1,200 employees. The second big way in which Arrival differs from the rest is their plans to make their vehicles in facilities they call micro factories, that according to their president require less capital and a smaller footprint to set up and begin production. This is just perfect for them, since the commercial vehicle market is a collection of many different niches, and this makes it easy to customize the vehicles to tailor the specific customer. These flexible factories with autonomous robots will result in cheaper costs of production for their buses and vans, and also give them the ability to scale up quickly to meet demand, which is just very promising since scaling is always a challenge for these startups. And now the third bullish point for Arrival in my opinion is that these guys have a confirmed contract with the UPS for 10,000 vehicles, with the option to even double that. This represents a $1.2 billion in revenue for Arrival according to their projections. UPS, along with huge financial players like BlackRock, Fidelity and Hyundai, are also investors in Arrival, making me just more confident that these guys might actually be the real deal. So now that all the bullish, positive points are out of the way, let's take a look at the potential risks and challenges for this company before I finally share my own decision and price predictions on it. So obviously, just like most other EV companies right now, Arrival hasn't turned a profit yet. But unlike the other EVs such as Workhorse and Hyliion, these guys haven't even delivered a single vehicle yet. before Arrival starts delivering their buses, which they expect will happen in the fourth quarter of 2021, followed by 2 new van models in the third quarter of 2022, they will have to rely on investors' money to stay afloat and actually do stuff. Now, I'm sure the money is there for them right now, but this does give me unpleasant flashbacks to the Nikola story, who just like Arrival also had reached a valuation of $10 billion without actually delivering a single vehicle yet. Now, unlike Nikola, Arrival is working with very credible financial heavyweights. They have a well laid out financing plan and a very nice pre-order going for them. But we have to admit that not delivering a single vehicle until next year is putting them quite a bit behind the other EV players manufacturing wise, and they have a lot to prove before we can actually make sure that they will be a dominating company in the future. So is Arrival a buy right now, and at what share price do I see them in the future? I'm going to say yes, but put a bunch of important disclaimers behind it. I always say that NIO stock is quite risky, but I'd consider Arrival being much more risky, so please don't use all your money to buy Arrival stock. Rather, putting 3 to 5% of your growth portfolio into this company might yield some amazing returns, while at the same time not making you susceptible to being bankrupt if it doesn't work out. That's what I did last week, and I'm very happy with the decision. So if Arrival actually gets close to keeping up with their expectations and projections, and they actually reach their projected $3.2 billion in EBITDA earnings in 2024, I'm sure it doesn't take a genius to realize that their current valuation of $10 billion could go up 5 or even tenfold, and I would expect a share price of well above $100 if it actually happens. Weighing the risks with this kind of upside made me decide to pick up shares in this company at around $17, and I'm excited to see just how Arrival will perform in the future. They sure have a lot to prove, but that's also reflected in the share price not being overly crazy like in the case of Nikola before it crashed to the abyss. Just again, make sure that you're diversified and risk tolerant, and that you do your own research, since I'm not some financial advisor. And with that, I want to conclude today's video. If you enjoyed this one, just a simple act of pressing the like button is the best way you can support me. It helps the algorithm and lets my videos reach out to more people. Also, comment down below what other stocks you would be interested in me covering, and I will of course keep doing my NIO videos regardless. Also, if you watched all the way to this point, make sure to subscribe and join us in the journey to hit 10,000 investors by the end of this year. I just love reading all your comments and feedback, and it is a really cool feeling to know that my subscriber counts are actually real people who share the same interest as me. So yeah, I appreciate your comments and your support. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.